You Reap What You Sow was actually clipped from a Bible verse. I'm not trying to have Bible study here, but I believe it's important to find the history on words and sayings to understand its true intent. The origination of the saying comes from the book of Galatians. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. The purpose of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word or a word hardly used in everyday speech. Word up. Sympathical, agreeable, likable, nice. Sympathical derives from the Greek noun sympathia. The English translation is sympathy. Early usage of the term was applied to describe people who are well liked or easy to get along with. Today, sympathical is used to describe the relationships between people who get along well or work well together. In my opinion, consider yourself lucky to have 3 sympathical relationships in a lifetime. Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio. Everyone has heard the saying, you reap what you sow. Yet, most people attribute reaping and sowing to eventual beneficial or cataclysmic events. Of course, if you plant or sow wheat seeds in a field, in due season, you expect to reap wheat stalks. This example describes deeds of intention. Usually, although, when we hear or use the quote, you reap what you sow, it is meant to deter a bad action or remind someone of the karma they can expect to receive. Where did this quote come from? You reap what you sow was actually clipped from a Bible verse. I'm not trying to have Bible study here, but I believe it's important to find the history on words and sayings to understand its true intent. The origination of the saying comes from the book of Galatians. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For me, the key word in that statement is whatsoever. Whatsoever, anything, everything, whatever it is, and so on. Again, we usually associate you reap what you sow with good or bad intentions. Intentions, what we expect out of what we do, with immediate or eventual results. But here is what we overlook. Every day we sow and reap. In my opinion, there isn't a day that goes by that we don't reap what we sow and sow what we reap. I'll keep it simple. The amount of energy we put into work, studying for an exam, relationships, health and fitness is the quality we can expect in return. Don't work hard, don't expect a pay increase. Don't study hard, don't expect good grades. Don't communicate with your significant other very well. Don't expect a lasting relationship. Don't work out. Well, don't expect your health and fitness to work out. All of this is obvious, but There are moments that happen all the time that isn't so obvious, yet we get an emotional rise from the experience. Basically, we get pissed off from having to deal with certain types of annoying people, and there seems to be no escape. Here is why you can't outrun or break free of these types of anxiety causing people. Because it's you. In many cases, you are what you hate. And this is the way the universe, God, karma, or whatever you want to call it, reflects you back to you. Believe me, I had to learn this humiliating lesson too. Most people don't want to believe how crappy someone makes them feel is exactly how other people feel when dealing with them. I remember working with a project administrator who would only give half of the information needed for something he wanted me to handle. Then he would suddenly change his plans and not tell anyone everything has changed, while confronting me as if I should have known. Okay, so what do we do now? He would reply, "We'll take care of it later." But later never came. And if you're not an auctioneer, you have no chance of making a point before he cuts you off with what he wanted to say. Hell, he wasn't even listening. Here is actual footage from my audio video diary I kept back then.
Most everyone has heard the cliche, "I need this done yesterday." It's a cliche, and it is practically impossible for that cliche to ever become real. Because if it was done yesterday, then you wouldn't have a need for anything because it's already done. I currently deal with, people, as we all do at some capacity. They'll ask and request a thing in a system, but they don't allow the system to work. Where I am, what I do and my superiors, they'll set up a program and they'll give responsibilities to their senior inspectors and their lead inspector so that they can handle the junior inspectors and guide them and follow up with them on things that they enter into particular systems. Because these guys are new, they don't really know, and they do make mistakes, and it is our responsibility as senior inspectors to guide them and also minimize the mistakes entered into logbooks or the tracking systems that we have. Okay, no problem. If you want me to follow up with I'll call them Kelly and Sam and Roderick, no problem. I'll do that. But just let me do it. Let me do it. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let the system work. If you're going to end up asking for something and expecting it the same day or the next day, that's not going to happen. Give us a minute to organize the system and work the system, because following up behind our junior inspectors is not the only thing that we have going on in any given day. But they have all day to, be impatient and look up things and see that things aren't done and, and go through it and act like no one's doing their job. You're not giving anyone a chance to do their job. It takes time, and not even a lot of time. Just breathe. Have a set schedule to where if you're going to dig through the systems and the books to see if things match up and are done, that's fine. But do it Friday, and give the rest of the guys a chance to follow up with their guys and make sure things are right. So by the time you check it on Friday, it should be good. But if you're asking us on Monday to get things squared away and repair, bad entries and follow up with guys to make sure that their data is right, and then you check tomorrow, we didn't have enough time to even fall back and look at their information to be sure that it's right. And not only that, it is already the next day. The prior stuff isn't fixed yet. And moreover, we haven't even checked their final entries for today, because guess what? It is still today. And it's a lot of people, they create their own problems. And I've noticed over the past several years, when I really started to wake up to the hierarchy, and just because people have a high position in the hierarchy, that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually understand the hierarchy. If you ask me to do something, then let me do it and let me be responsible. If you're going to do it, stop asking me to do it. Simple.
Before we continue, I know I sound like I hated or severely disliked my PA. Not true. I actually liked the guy, but that does not mean I trusted him. So anyway, one day when he was at the end of his wits, I found him stewing about something in his office. Hey, you good? Instead of yes, no, or maybe, he launches into how miserable he feels because his hands are tied from doing a good job. He went on to say things about the person right above him in the evolution of the hierarchy, which is the project engineer. He said, I don't know what to do. He's stingy with information. How does he want me to do things his way and not tell me what he wants? He changes his plans every 5 minutes, and he doesn't even say anything. I didn't know what he wanted me to do in the first place. Talking to him is like talking to a dumpster. I was kind of priming him with my facial expressions and a bit condescending with what I said, so he would get it without me saying it directly. Oh, really? I know exactly how you feel. Of course, he went into the whole cognitive dissonance thing, but oh well. At least I learned we do reap what we sow all the time. So when someone makes you feel some type of way, ask yourself, do I do that? Is this how people feel when they deal with me? If you can truly see yourself, you can actually fix your karma and begin to sow more of what you want to reap. I'm out of time, but here is a clip of what to expect in the next episode of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Podcast. Really outstanding people can be pigeonholed by others in positions of power. Sometimes when a person has an authoritative ranking, the position blinds them from seeing your worth and value.
Don't forget to order your copy of the Un-Convoluted Hierarchy Workbook to help you navigate your work environment. The link is in the bio.
It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, my fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.